Namaste in the Hillers. Welcome to the Science of, where we explore and break down a pose completely so that you can have all the knowledge that you need to efficiently and effectively execute any yoga posture that you want to bring into your practice. Today's exploration will be Trikonasana, or triangle position. So, Trikonasana is an amazing pose for stretching the outer hip and the back of the front leg in the posture, as well as just building strength and endurance for any of your standing postures. The reason I chose this pose to start this series off with is because I oftentimes see a lot of compromised knee and hip positions when my own students come into this posture. And if you do this pose incorrectly, it can cause a lot of hip and knee pain down the road for you. I had one student that actually injured herself in this posture. She was practicing on her own and forgot to do one of the critical engagements of the posture, and she had about a 8-week recovery on pulling a muscle. So let's go ahead and get into it. Oftentimes when you come into Trikonasana, you're either standing at the top of your mat and you step back into the posture, or you can start in a wide leg stance. And that's where I'm going to start you from today. So we're just going to start by stepping our feet nice and wide. And just to make sure that you're good and grounded, feeling your foundation here, let's go ahead and set this up like we would if we were going to go into wide leg forward fold. So you want to make sure that the outside edges of your feet are parallel with the outside edges of your mat. And then you're going to press into the outside edges of the feet to firm the legs. It's as if you're shrink wrapping these thigh muscles around your thigh bones here. So nice strong stance to begin with. Tailbone reaches down, heart lifts, low ribs in, and I start by inhaling the arms out to the sides here. So I don't want floppy fish hanging out to the side. I want to actively be reaching through the arms here. So we'll go ahead and we'll start by rotating our right foot a full 90 degrees, opening to the short side of our mat. Now, I immediately feel an opening in the leg. I feel some muscular engagement, more muscular engagement coming into the quadricep or thigh muscle. And I want to be careful not to collapse into my back ankle. I have a tendency to do that. And so when I come into this posture, I'll usually lift my back toes and spread them so that I can really ground through the outside edge and engage that arch up for support, and then I'll let the toes ease back down to the mat. From here, I want to keep my back shoulder directly positioned over my back hip. The tendency is for that shoulder to come forward because you've externally rotated that hip, and so if the hips are tight, the shoulder's going to want to pull forward. So you may have to try a little extra to open that shoulder back here. From here, we'll inhale the arms again out to the sides, engaged and strong. And then we'll take a deep inhale, casting our gaze forward over our front index and middle finger. Now here is the kicker. On the exhale, you're going to drop your front hip crease into your body as you reach as far forward as you can through the front arm, lengthening your underbody. Now, a lot of times I'll see folks collapse in their underbody here to get lower to the mat. And this is no good. So we're going to come back up. What I want you to do is really try to keep that length there. So we inhale, exhale, hip crease drops into the body. I lengthen, 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 lengthen. When I cannot go any further, I don't let my torso drop. I simply windmill the arms and open across, expand across my chest as I reach up toward the ceiling. Don't worry if this bottom hand doesn't reach the floor. There's no trophy down there. What I'm trying to do is expand across the chest. I'm trying to lengthen through the front leg and drop that hip crease back into my body so that this back hip kind of comes up and over. The pelvis shifts here. And I'm also trying to engage this quadricep up toward the hip to relax and release the hamstrings here and allow them to stretch. Now, here's the critical knee thing that most people will miss with this posture. If you have a disengaged outer hip, this knee is going to point in toward your big toe. Oftentimes the cue of open your knee to the pinky toe side is the cue given to try to remedy this. But I don't like that cue. I like to work in biomechanics. And so what we actually want to do with that, or to create that rather, is give an isometric rotational grip of the front heel. Since my left leg is forward, I'm going to grip the heel in the counterclockwise direction. And what that does is it's going to engage that hip up under me. The knee will then line up with second and third toe, and I will be engaged in this outer hip and have it as a support for me as opposed to out from under me. So we isometrically, rotationally grip that front heel to lock it all in with our foundation, and then we hold and we expand and breathe. To come up out of this posture, we inhale and draw up through the top arm all the way back up to center. And we can either heel toe or hop our way in. I'll heel toe my way in. And that is the safe, effective way to execute Trikonasana. Thanks for joining me for this episode of The Science Of. I hope this exploration helps you out in your practice. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and certainly ask any questions or make any comments you'd like below. Namaste.